Hello and welcome. Today I'd like to share an idea I had for some simple but effective Valentine's Day cards using fabric and some washi tape, and also I sewed some buttons onto the little heart-shaped fabric pieces. So I have these white card bases. I bought those on Amazon. They're already they're scored so you can fold them easily. And from another card base, I cut those rectangular pieces, and I'm going to work on those rectangular pieces and then attach them to my card as you see there. So first I'm going to work on a washi tape background, and while I'm doing that, I want to say that if you are here from the Mixed Media Emporium Facebook group, welcome, of course, and this is the first week of the month, and we are a prompt-based group, and each week there's a new prompt. So for the first week of each month, I'm starting a new challenge or new prompt, and it's a color challenge. That's what I'm calling it anyway. And so each month for the first week, I will pick a color, and you can make a project of any kind, but using mainly that color that I choose and announce. And you can use other colors, and you can use shades of that color, of course, but it should be obvious when you look at the project what the color for the month is. So I thought this would be something fun and different, and because it's Valentine's Day month, I chose red. And here we are. So when you're using washi tape, most everyone knows that you usually have to add a little bit of extra glue to make sure your washi tape doesn't start coming up. So I put some glue stick on my background, and I chose some washi tapes that I thought looked good together. I don't really have Valentine's Day washi tape or even a lot of red. To be honest, red is not my favorite color in art, but I have these pieces that I picked, and I thought they looked nice together. And then I'm going to focus more on the red when I make the hearts using fabrics. Again, I don't have a lot of Valentine's Day fabrics either, but I have red fabric, so I think it all works nicely. And I apologize a few times. I'm a little bit low there in the camera range. I thought I was okay, but apparently not. I think it's fine, and you can tell what I'm doing. So I'm just attaching the washi tape, as you can see there, until my card is covered, and then I'm trimming it, of course. So after I have my background prepared, I picked out some fabric that I thought would look nice on top, and I decided to do 2 different size hearts in the fabric. And I have this heart template. It's made by Fiskars. I've had this forever and ever. I don't know where I got it. I've had it for so many years. I don't even know if they still make it. What I did was just chose 2 sizes, a larger size and then the next size down. And I traced the heart shape there with my pencil. I'm using a Stabilo All pencil because it writes on almost everything. And then I cut it out. I used my zigzag scissors for one of the hearts and regular scissors for the other heart. So that's all I'm doing. It's really pretty simple. After I cut out my heart, my larger heart, I'm going to do the same process for my smaller heart on a different fabric that I think will look nice to coordinate with that heart. I think that looks really nice. I don't know. I hope you all like it too. So I have this gold fabric. This is kind of a fancy, elegant card with the gold, I think. And I'm going to trace and cut the smaller heart. And I'm going to use regular scissors for this one to contrast with the zigzag heart that I cut out already. So basically, again, the same thing. There's my heart, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue to attach those together, and then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and do some wonky sewing around that smaller heart, because wonky sewing is really the only sewing that I know how to do. Before I do that, I did decide which button I'm going to use, and I really like that black and gold one. I wanted to use my red buttons, but I never did. They just didn't work out. But I do like the way that black one works with a little bit of black in the background and the gold also in the background and the fabric. I'm using some glue just to hold my heart down while I sew. You know, if you really know how to sew, you probably use a pin to hold it down and then sew it. But that's just the way I do things. So, showing you there that I'm going to sew, and there is the sewing. I changed my thread to some red and did a zigzag stitch to have a little bit of contrast and have it show. And now I'm going to sew on the button. I think most everybody knows how to sew on a button, so I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. I'm using red thread to also contrast, to have some contrast on my button sewing. So there we are, everything's sewed on, and with more wonky sewing, but it looks fine. And I'm going to attach my heart to the background, and then I will attach the background to my card base, and I'm pretty much finished with that card. So I'm using the Dries Clear Art Glitter Glue. Dries Clear, it's called. It doesn't have glitter in it. It works really well. You can use any glue that you want to. Even a glue stick would work, but I feel like this one's a little bit more secure than a glue stick. I sometimes use Fabri-Tac, you know, things like that. And then I might add some words to the bottom of this one, because the black I think is really working with this card. But first I'm going to attach that rectangular piece to my card base. So same thing, I use the same glue. That glue works great on fabric, paper, all of those things. I make sure I use enough glue. I don't really want it to seep off out of the corners, so that's why I was kind of brushing it off a little bit on the corners. And again, just eyeballing everything. I don't want to get extra glue everywhere and make a mess. So there you go. And I think I do add those words to the bottom. Yes, you make my heart, what does it say? Happy, I think. Oh dear. I don't have that card right in front of me, but I think that's what it says. And I think the black look works really nice with this card. I did not put words on all of my cards, as you'll see. So there's my card. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. And then I wanted to also do one with a fabric background, a fabric on fabric, really, instead of the washi tape. So I picked out 3 other coordinating fabrics that I thought looked really nice together. And I'm going to use that fabric on my rectangular piece that is going to be attached to my card base, and my hearts will be attached to that piece. So I have a really thin fabric, as you can see right through it, but that's okay because it's a white card behind it, and it's fine. I am going to attach this fabric because it's thin. I'm using a glue stick. I find that works well with thin fabrics. If you use a wet glue with thin fabric, it can seep through, and I don't think it looks nice always. So that's why I use a glue stick. And it would have worked fine even if I hadn't done this, but you'll see that I also do some sewing on that rectangular piece, so that also makes sure that it's not going anywhere. Also, because I know that the glue stick, once you put it onto a piece of paper, it will, I mean, when you use a glue stick on your fabric and you put it on a piece of paper, it takes out all the wrinkles, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm trimming the fabric down a little bit more, and then you'll see how I trim the corners so I can fold them over, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. You can do this same technique with paper. I'm sure many of you have seen this technique for covering something like this with paper. And so I'm covering the entire rectangular piece with my glue stick. I don't know why I stopped there. I think I forgot I was going to flip that over and attach it to the front. My glue stick had some little dark bits from a previous fabric, so I took those off. Just flip that over and attach it to my fabric. And just make sure it's well adhered. And you can smooth out if there are any wrinkles doing that, and rubbing it with your fingers like that. So that works really well, I think. As you can see, I was trying to figure out which way was up, which way was down. So then the next thing is first I'm going to add more glue just to the edges, and then I will trim each corner. Again, you've probably seen this technique with paper. So you want to get close to the corner, but not right up to the corner, because then your white corner will show through once you fold the pieces over. But you don't want to get too far or too close. It's a challenge, and you just really have to practice doing this. But it's not that hard, really. So again, just fold over each side, and then you have a nice clean piece on the front. And again, the glue stick works fine. It's going to hold that just fine. Plus, I'm going to glue that to the card base, so it'll be double protected, and you're not going to see that part. So there it is. I think it looks very nice. Next, I'm going to cut out my hearts to attach to that base. And I already had one heart cut out, and that was the bigger. I'm just double checking, that's the bigger heart. So I'll do the next smaller size with my zigzag stickers and that pretty floral fabric. I'm going to do the same thing I did before and trace it with my pencil on the back of the fabric and then cut it out. Again, I'm going to use those zigzag scissors to cut that one out, just to be a little bit different than the other heart. I will follow the same process with these hearts as I did before. There you can see how it looks. I've already taken it to, oh no, I haven't taken it to my sewing machine. First, I'm going to decide which button to use. I go through all my buttons, of course. I have to check all my choices, and still trying to use that red one. I think the red one would have looked fine, but I decided to use the white one. I think that's pretty and button, and it's unique looking. So I will do the same thing I did before, glue my little smaller heart onto the larger heart and take it to my sewing machine and sew around it. And I decided, because my hearts cover up a lot of the flowers, it makes the background look a little plainer than I wanted. So I decided to also sew around the background. So I will sew on the button and glue everything down just as I did before. Here is how that card turned out that I was working on. I think it is really cute, and I might add some words down there. I have some of those Tim Holtz chit chat words. Oops. That I might add down there, but I haven't decided, so I'm going to leave it for now and decide later. And after I stop recording, I decided to make my husband one of these cards in a little bit more masculine style. I don't know if I succeeded or not, but I do like the way it looks. I didn't do any sewing because I don't think he's a fan of wonky sewing. He's a lot more precise than I am, so I thought he would appreciate this more. And I really like the way all of these turned out. I hope you like them, and I hope you'll give them a try. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.